It's now my pleasure to introduce the co-chairs of the awards committee, Tara Fortune and Roy Lyster. They will be conferring the inaugural CARLA Awards.
Good morning. This is very exciting for us to make these first awards. It's the first year that we'll be bestowing a Distinguished Teacher Award and a Distinguished Scholar Award on two very special, deserving people. Nominees were nominated by a colleague who oversaw the submission of 3 letters of support as well as the nominee's CV or a lesson plan. Altogether, there were 13 nominees. There were 6 nominees for Distinguished Scholar and 7 nominees for the Distinguished Teacher Award. And their submissions were then carefully adjudicated by the awards committee. Tara and I were co-chairs of that committee, along with 7 members who are identified in your program. Tara.
I have the honor of talking about our Distinguished Teacher Award recipient, Maureen Curran-Dorsano. As many immersion teaching pioneers, Maureen Curran-Dorsano stumbled into her professional passion. What began as a deep love of French language and culture fueled a career dedicated to changing young children's lives as a French immersion teacher. And along the way, Maureen became a widely respected teacher leader and mentor. Colleagues' praise described her stellar standards-based interdisciplinary units, laser-like focus on students' language development, quiet, unassuming ways, creativity and dedication, and sense of professionalism that stretches beyond the classroom. They referred to her multifaceted talents as a tech guru, gifted literacy and language arts teacher, and foremost teacher leader of the school. I can personally say that I know Maureen to be all of this and more. Maureen has partnered with CARLA and the University of Minnesota to offer professional development for new to immersion colleagues for the past decade. Her commitment to doing whatever it takes to strive towards excellence is indeed remarkable. Late nights and marathon planning sessions are familiar terrain. It is a true joy to acknowledge Maureen Curran-Dorsano today as the first recipient of CARLA's Distinguished Immersion and Dual Language Teacher Award. Congratulations.
Sure. Wow, I just feel like I've won an Academy Award. And really, all of you could earn that Academy Award too. It might be for best screenplay adapted from another source, for all of us having to teach everyday math in another language. It might be for best costume design. You know, all you kindergarten teachers with those cute little ears and wings for the end-of-year productions so that moms and dads can say that their kindergartner is perfectly fluent now. You know how that is. But we could all win for best actor or actress in a leading role because that's what we do. We tap dance our way through every lesson. We are, after all, the Ginger Rogers to the rest of education's Fred Astaire. As a cartoonist once famously quipped, she did everything that Fred did, but she did it backwards and in heels. And I think that sums up immersion teaching. So on behalf of all of you gingers out there, male and female, I humbly accept this award. Thank you.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you. Places change places. So what an honor and a privilege it is for me to be able to award the first Distinguished Scholar Award to Dr. Merrill Swain. This award recognizes her role as a leader in the field of immersion for having made significant contributions in both research and service. Merrill is Professor Emerita at the Ontario Institute for Studies in Education at the University of Toronto, where she began her long and productive career in 1973. During her career, she co-authored or co-edited 12 books or special issues on immersion education or related to immersion education, 95 book chapters, and 135 papers in refereed journals. In addition, she co-supervised a remarkable number of 64 PhD students. As one of the award committees said, Merrill Swain is an outstanding pioneer immersion scholar who has had an impact on the field of immersion education and dual language education all over the world. Merrill Swain's seminal papers on immersion in the 1980s emphasized the important role of student production. She identified the benefits and also the limitations of comprehensible input in second language acquisition and attributed a complementary role to student output. Her output hypothesis triggered a turning point in conceptualizations of immersion pedagogy and has been a source of inspiration for many researchers and teachers, including myself. At the same time, she identified the limitations of classroom input itself and put forth the very strong and lasting claim that content-based teaching on its own is not necessarily good language teaching and needs to be manipulated and complemented to maximize second language learning. So thank you, Merrill, for helping us to continue to rethink immersion pedagogy with a view to enabling our students to reach even higher levels of bilingual proficiency. You are most deserving of this award.
Roy, first of all, thank you very, very much for those comments. I can't tell you how deeply honored and privileged I feel to be the recipient of this CARLA award. And to be the first, well, I mean, that makes it really special. It's been a long and exciting journey since 1970, when I visited the very first French immersion program in Canada. And I'm grateful to so many colleagues and students and friends who have mentored me over these years and who have also shared in the workload that underlies being a recipient of this DSA award. I'd like to thank especially Dick Tucker and the late Wally Lambert, with whom I've spent countless hours talking about immersion education, while at the same time having a very good time. And if you'd known Wally Lambert, you'd know what I mean. I would have accomplished so much less if it had not been for my wonderful friend and colleague, Sharon Lapkin. And also, had it not been for students such as Miles Turnbull, Lindsay Brooks, Augustina Tokali-Beller, Birgit Harley, and Roy Lyster. Roy actually was one of Oisey's students, and we're very proud of him. Additionally, there are so many colleagues around the world who have helped me understand their context and their reasons for immersion education, and have taken me into their schools or schools that they're associated with. People like Siv Bjorklund in Finland, Keith Johnson in Hong Kong, Mike Bostwick in Japan, and Lyle French in Brazil. And finally, I'd like to express my gratitude to CARLA and its wonderful immersion researcher practitioners, both Dee Teddick and Tara Fortune, with whom I have also spent many, many hours discussing issues related to immersion and dual language education, and also had a lot of fun. To all these people and so many others, I'd like to thank you for making this amazing award a possibility for me. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. That's just stunning.